Are construction workers essential to the U.S. economy? Me, myself, as a construction worker today, I was in the war zone. Nah, I wasn't in the front lines, but I did get scared in the morning when we pulled up. We had to do a job right here at a local hospital where we're remodeling one of the showers that's going to be used in the emergency room for patients and doctors to go in and stuff. Right next to where we were working, they had a COVID-19 testing facility or testing site. You get a little like, oh man, it felt a little weird to just be there. And then today I read an article in the LA Times talking about a worker at Sofi Stadium, which is going to be the most expensive stadium in the world, home of the Chargers and the Rams, that's going to be built later this year. It's actually supposed to open in July with the Taylor Swift concert that's already been sold out. No word if that's going to be canceled yet because it's in July. Maybe 3 months from now. It's still time for this to get resolved. So it got me thinking, like, are construction workers really essential to the United States economy? And in this article by LA Times, they interviewed electricians and over 20 workers from the 3,000 workers that are still working at SoFi Stadium. So even though somebody tested positive, they still kept working and people are not stopped. Like, if you go to any construction site, make sure you guys smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm because it will definitely help us out, because YouTube is trying to censor our videos because they're sensitive topics. So definitely like it and comment if you can. If you drive by construction sites, people have not stopped working. And as a construction worker myself, I think one of the things that a lot of people are working from home, like as a construction worker, you can't work from home. You don't get paid leave because we are subcontractors. So the way this works, you have somebody starts a project, then they get a contractor to bid for the project, and then they subcontract certain parts. So for example, if I'm building a house, I'm going to subcontract to an electrician who's going to hire people to do that work. I'm going to subcontract the tile guy to come and hire people to do that tile job. I'm going to hire somebody to do the paint, and they're gonna hire their workers to do the paint. So you know what I'm saying, it all trickles down. So you can't just get paid leave. You actually have to work to make money to keep it afloat, you know. And unfortunately, a lot of workers have not stopped, and the government has allowed construction to keep going on because it is an essential part. Once the economy gets back running, we need new buildings, we need new places for the economy to go, you know, like that stadium. Billions of dollars for the NFL are on the line. So yeah, these workers are getting paid and they want to work because they want to get those checks in order to provide for their families. I'm going to read a quote from somebody that's working at the SoFi Stadium, which I completely agree with. It's impossible to do social distancing and do your job, the electrician said. It's crazy how some people still don't take this seriously. I stay away from colleagues during lunchtime. Look what happened in Italy. I don't want that to happen in my community. And yes, construction workers, we try to be safe. We try to stay away from other people, but it's just not possible when you are working in a certain area. Then you have a painter in the same area. You have an electrician in the same area. Yes, we're trying not to touch things, wash our hands, wear gloves, face guards, whatever we can. Just working in a confined space, there's no way to be 100% safe in those situations. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you guys think the workers at SoFi Stadium, should they be maybe stopping that project? Because if one person gets it, there's over 3,000 people working on that project. Although the projects that I work on, we don't have that many people. Like usually the smaller projects that we have is just our crew of 3-4 guys, 2 guys at certain jobs, and we have multiple jobs all over Southern California. And I'm still driving. The freeways are kind of dead right now, which is kind of cool. Like there's no traffic for the first time ever. The 91, the 10, the 60. Like a drive that usually takes me 2.5 hours right now is taking me an hour and 20 minutes. Like I'm saving maybe 2 hours out of driving every day. Like that's awesome. Our construction workers really essential to the U.S. economy, and should construction be stopped at SoFi Stadium? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I personally think hopefully work doesn't keep slowing down, because work has slowed down. Even though we're still working, we have stopped some projects. Some homeowners canceled on us because they didn't want us in their house, and little by little, when you start seeing reports like somebody getting infected at a job site, it could affect everyone else, because it's not just for me. We do tile. If an electrician gets infected, they're probably going to stop the whole project for the rest of us. If one of our guys gets infected, we're going to stop the project for everyone else. So it's just not one gig worker. It's all trickles down, and of course nobody wants to stop because we're not going to get those checks. And unfortunately, a lot of people who work in construction also don't qualify to get those checks from the government, don't qualify for that stuff. If they don't work, they're not going to get any checks to feed their family, and a lot of workers right now are stuck in that situation. So it kind of sucks. And that's my TED talk on construction.
She said yes.
Oh yeah, it's my boy Tony Parker marrying his wife. Proposing to his wife at Coachella, goddamn. Anyway, I don't even know where I was going with this, but that's just my opinion on construction. I don't want to say it's essential. Yes, money and the economy is on the line, and our work is on the line, but I don't think it's really essential, whether like firefighters or people in the front lines and the nurses and stuff. That's the essential work in my opinion, but I definitely don't want to stop working. So it's just pros and cons. We're trying to be as safe as we can, trying to avoid other large areas. The next story today is from the LA Times again. Shout out to the LA Times for putting out some great content today. Actually, since the last 2 weeks. Today, we have a good article titled, "They were supposed to build stages for Coachella. Now they're building coronavirus triage tents." Triage tents? I don't know how to pronounce that. So this article in the LA Times, I'll put the link in the description for everything I'm going to talk about today, so you guys can click on those links. This article is extremely awesome because it is Coachella related. You know, this channel, we have a lot of Coachella videos. I made a Coachella video yesterday talking about the news of the new documentary that's supposed to air on April 10th, 20 years in the desert. I can't wait to watch that on April 10th. Employees, like not just Coachella, but all music festivals in Southern California, some of these companies employ usually like 250,000 gig workers, like part-time or full-time workers, build all these mini cities for concerts like EDC, Coachella, Hard Summer, like all these people that build stages and the tents and ravers and festival goers. Like we enjoy these stuff and we take it for granted. Like we just show up to the festival and everything's built. We leave the festival and they got to take it all down and travel. Concert stage production, like all these companies right now, all those people are not working. Think about all those people, every concert, every venue, they're not working right now. And now thanks to the US government needing these build facilities like in New York and Los Angeles and other areas around the world, around the country, that they actually need pop-up hospitals, places to put people who are sick, people who are not at risk of coronavirus. Like these pop-up tents in this article they mentioned, I think it's awesome that they're using these resources to help out the people who actually need it right now. And I know concerts are fun and it's an escape, but there's bigger issues in the world, and they're using the resources to build masks, to build face guards, provide some of this housing for these people. The entertainment industry was maybe first impacted by this, even though before all the news articles we started hearing things that would be canceled. Over a week it became an absolute standstill and all of our crew had absolutely no work, said Joey Gallagher, the chief executive of Gallagher Staging, the LA firm that was slotted to build out the main stage at Coachella this year. In the wake of the festival's postponement, it has built tented patient facilities from beds and other structures for hospitals in the Bay Area and is working on 5 similar sites around Los Angeles. Besides the stages, they have some of their crews building masks and protection gear for some of the nurses and the medical staff that's in the front lines, and I think they're contributing in an amazing way. Things that we are overlooking. You're looking at people talking about masks and ventilators and the things we need. You also need a place for these people to be isolated, doctors to go in and out and to deal with patients who are not sick of COVID-19, who actually need care in other areas. And if the hospitals get overwhelmed without these facilities, it would just be complete chaos. So shout out to these people. We can't wait to get back to the concert business because we love it, Shaw said. Sometimes I go to bed crying at night, but we got a message from a woman in elder care wearing one of our masks that said this was going to save people's lives. I sat there and said, this is unbelievable. This might help people not die. And I think that's a great message, and I think that's a great article. I hope you guys read it. I'll put the link in the description. I want to thank everyone that's putting their 2 cents in, just medical workers, the nurses. You've seen those photos of nurses in the front lines, and I think I read an article too, 20% of all cases of coronavirus infected people are actually people in the medical community because they're in the front lines dealing with patients who are sick and themselves are getting sick.
So of course this is a projection, and it's a projection based on using very much what's happened in Italy and then looking at all the models. And so as you saw on that slide, that was our real number, that 100,000 to 200,000. And we think that that is the range. We really believe and hope every day that we can do a lot better than that. Because that's not assuming 100% of every American does everything that they're supposed to be doing.
Prepared for it. Is it going to be that much? I hope not. And I think the more we push on the mitigation, the less likelihood it would be that number. But as being realistic, we need to prepare ourselves that that is a possibility, that that's what we will see.
A very short period of time for that to happen.
Right.
Can the country handle that in such a short period of time, within a couple of months? 50,000 a month.
It will be difficult. I mean, no one is denying the fact that we are going through a very, very difficult time right now. I mean, we're seeing what's happening in New York. That is really, really tough.
And then Trump said today that it's a matter of fact and death that Americans follow the guidance to stay indoors as much as possible over the next 30 days. And I think if we continue to see reports over the weekend of people having parties and people not taking this seriously, people still going to the beach in Florida, I feel like we might get into a martial law type of scenario where they're going to have police and the National Guard and the military patrol the streets, pull people over and give them tickets like they're doing in New York City. And we don't want to get to that point, especially if your area is not as bad as other areas. Please just do your part and stay at home. Only go out if it's essential. Only go out if you need to. Don't go to your friends' houses. Don't do this. Need to do a better job just to make sure we kind of handle this down and hopefully goes away in the next couple months. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And here are some of the clips that you guys submitted for today's video. So you guys want to be part of the community, send me your clips on Instagram at WarmYourFull, or just go send them to my email or something, and I could post you guys here on my channel. So shout out to these people who submitted their videos, and submit yours so you could be in the next video. Thank you guys for watching this video. My name is Angel. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.